Hi everybody, my name is Ryan Kircher. I joined RMS Company as a senior additive manufacturing engineer in April of 2021. RMS Company is one of the largest contract manufacturers of medical devices in the world and operates one of the leading additive manufacturing cells in the United States. Over the course of several videos, I'm going to take you on a journey through our additive manufacturing operations, starting with design for additive manufacturing and the digital preparation for our additive manufacturing systems, followed by some post-processing and testing and packaging necessary to manufacture our medical devices. Our first stop along the tour is going to be in our additive manufacturing office, where we're going to discuss design for additive manufacturing with one of our design engineers up there. So let's go. We're here with Victor Lepkovich, who programs and designs parts in our additive manufacturing department. Victor, what's the typical process for programming a part for additive manufacturing?
It depends on the starting point of a particular project.
Can you elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, some of the customers have their own printers, so they start out by validating and coming up with their own process, and then they come to us, RMS, because we can scale up with all of our post-processing and additive manufacturing capabilities.
And what about those customers that are new to additive manufacturing and don't have their own printers?
Then they come to us, and our engineers help them come up with a good design and development for their plan.
Can you kind of talk through what some of those steps in designing a part for additive manufacturing are?
They need to come up with requirements for their part and their design, and then we have to look at the orientation, parameters, and layouts for that.
And additive manufacturing is just a small part in the entire process for manufacturing a medical device. And RMS has a lot of those post-processing capabilities. How do you guys incorporate those other processes when you're looking at designing a part for additive manufacturing?
So we work with the engineers and all the other departments as far as the wire removal or manual removal, the deburring, because we have to clean up the supports and other parts off of it, and then the milling op too for cleaning up and putting the final touches on the part.
You mentioned support structures. Do all the parts that get printed have support structures on them?
Many times they do, but we try to work with the customer to minimize them because the effects it has on the part and the stress it brings to the parts, and also to remove them from the part and the build plate will be easier if we reduce them. It makes for a much more efficient process.
Can you comment a little bit about the software packages that you use when you're programming parts?
So the main one we use is 3D Expert, and we bring in the models in there to orientate the part and to add the supports and the parameters. And then we also use the 3D control to array the parts with a witness sample.
When you're using 3D Expert software, are there particular file formats that you require?
We use all kinds of them, usually native CAD files and STLs.
You mentioned process parameters. Does each individual part that gets printed have specific processing parameters?
We try to lead the customers into the standard parameters that we use because they've been validated, and we have a lot of historical data that the customer can leverage that data to develop their process.
And what kind of validated process parameter sets do you guys have?
We have 30 and 60 micron layer thicknesses for titanium alloys.
So once you've sliced and assigned process parameters to a particular part, what are the next steps?
Next steps is bring it into control and to array it out on a build plate with the test specimens, and we try to fill it up to maximize the space, keeping it within the 70 hours per our validated process.
Well, thanks for taking the time to speak with us today, Victor. Tune into our next episode where we'll be meeting with Josh Starr in our additive manufacturing lab, and we'll be looking at our 3D printers in action.